I'm basically going to break it down to 4 different things. First thing is you need to become a USCF member. I'll show you guys how to do that. Next thing is just what to do before the tournament, what to do during the tournament, and then last but not least, what to do after the tournament. So first, let me show you guys how to become a USCF member. Alright, so first thing you want to do is just Google becoming a USCF member. Go to the first link. Never the ad one, just the first one right here. You can see it right here if you ever have to look at the exact URL. You don't really need a premium adult membership, just get one of these. 1 year, 2 year, probably 1 year is fine, because I would say in the beginning everyone's really gung-ho, and then you find out if you're going to be playing all the time or not so much, so I would just start off with 1 year. So that's the first step. Super easy, very easy form, nothing complicated there. Next thing is during the tournament. Alright, so the next step is you need to find a tournament. So every state has its own chess association. So you can just Google your state in chess and go to the website, and they're all going to have calendars. So if you want to travel, you can look up states close by. Like I go to North Carolina and Florida, and sometimes even Texas for tournaments too. So you look at the calendar, you look at the events. So if you want to practice before you play a real tournament, I would suggest a blitz tournament. Anything below 10-minute time control, it won't affect your real rating, and it'll get you accustomed to kind of just playing over the board, hitting the clock, stuff that is going to be new to you your first time. So if you're going to play a tournament though, I would probably suggest finding a one-day one. A 2-day tournament, I mean, 1 is the whole weekend, and 2, you're going to play people who've been playing for a while. I mean, they're committing a whole 2 days, and you're going to play a lot of kids too, because the kids are just taking over. Now, what do you want to look for? So you want to look at the time control, how many rounds it is, the section, and then you're going to sign up. So we're going to just take this tournament for example. You're going to see it's 3 sections, open, under 18, and under 14. So open section is always the highest. That's where like the Grandmasters play, or the highest, the 2200s. The highest rated players will play in the open. For your first tournament, I would suggest the bottom section, or maybe the second to the bottom section. For the first time in, like, just get some wins. Like, you don't have to like prove anything. So I would play the bottom section, and then this one is 5 rounds in game 90, delay 5. So what that means is that you're gonna play 5 rounds, and the time control is 90 minutes. So each side has 90 minutes. Which is going to blow your mind, because your whole time you've probably been playing 5 or 10-minute games. And you're going to have 90 minutes or 60 minutes or sometimes 45 minutes. Those are kind of the 3 that I suggest for a first time kind of chess tournament. 30 is kind of rushed. So 60, 90 are probably the sweet spot. And it goes by pretty fast. Delay 5 means when they hit your clock for 5 seconds, your clock will not run. So that way if you're really low on time, you can kind of survive. And they have the round times, what time the rounds are, and then the entry fee. So these are all the different things that you're going to look for. And once you're good to go, once you have the right section, you're going to just sign up. Signing up is always pretty easy. Basic form, name, number, all that kind of stuff. Nothing super technical. And then buys. So if you want, you can select not to play certain rounds. If it's your first time, I would suggest try to play all the games unless you have some time conflict. But play all the games, but if you need to take one off, instead of getting 0 points or 1 point, you get a half point if you say it in advance. So that's what a buy is. And then basically that's all the information you need to know for joining a tournament. Alright, so now what happens during the tournament? So how it's going to start is you're going to walk in, you're going to probably see a couple people there. Most people will show up like 10, 5, 0 minutes before the round starts. Please try to be there on time. And please make sure you have the right address. It's your first tournament, just double check everything. Just like chess, you don't want to make any silly mistakes. So you're going to get there, first thing you're going to do is look for your pairing sheet. Your pairing sheet is going to basically have everyone in your section, as well as who you're going to play if the pairings are out. Double check to make sure your name's there, that way you're good to go. If you see that, you're good. Pairings are going to come, generally pretty close to the round time, and you're going to see basically your name and someone else's name. If your name is on the left side, like where Magnus Carlsen is, that means you're white. If your name's on the right side, like Hikaru is, you're going to be black. I get that asked all the time. Left side means white, right side means black, and there'll probably even be somewhere where it says white/black. Generally, you can have 2 whites in a row, you can have 2 blacks in a row, but you can never have 3. Next, clocks. So clocks are gonna be kind of new for you guys because a lot of you guys play online. So the things with clocks is if you lose on time, obviously you lose. And when you make a move, you want to move and then hit the clock with the same hand. You don't want to do like two hands like this. We call that paddling, and I guess it's a little bit unfair, and it's just proper etiquette. There's really, I guess, no real punishment for it, but make sure you hit the clock with the same hand. And then notation. If you have under 5 minutes, you do not have to write the moves. If you have over 5 minutes, do your best to write down each move. Look at the board like a grid. Each piece, just abbreviate it. So knight is like, knight is N, rook is R, bishop is B, and just do your best to write down. It's going to be a little bit weird, and just remember, if you have under 5 minutes, or your opponent has under 5 minutes, you don't have to write anymore to not lose on time. Next thing is try not to panic. If you're under 20 minutes, that's still plenty of time. 5 minutes, still enough time. 1 minute, you can panic as much as you want. It's actually really fun to watch sometimes. People just like freaking out. Anyway, so draws. So a lot of people, or some people, will know this is your first tournament. So what they're gonna do is, if you're winning, they're gonna offer you a draw, and you're gonna feel like you have to take it. Never take a draw against the higher rated, because the only reason the higher rated is offering you the draw is because you're winning. Think about it. Why else would someone who's better than you offer a draw? So a loss is 0 points, a win is 1 point, and the draw is half a point. Draws will not affect your rating as much. If you win, you gain more rating. If you lose more rating. So that's kind of how like the system is. You'll play someone with close to the same amount of points as you. So if you win 2 games out of 3, you'll probably play someone 2 games out of 3. Now food. So if you want, you can snack during the game. It's really up to you. I never do it because I get self-conscious, but I really like to eat in between rounds. So if I have more than 2 rounds, or if it's 2 really big rounds, I eat in the middle. Make sure you eat the day of the tournament, because if you don't, around hour 4, 5, 6, you're gonna start like hallucinating and making some like really weird moves, and you're like, why would I make that? And it's because you're hungry and you have no energy and your brain is not working. So very important is try to eat the day of. Try to sleep. Please sleep. I played tournaments on 0 sleep. It's not fun. It's terrible. And the next thing, and this is something that a lot of people need to hear, but expectations. You are not Beth Harmon. You are not gonna win every game, lose to the world champion, and then beat him the next game. I think she lost once, and I guess she lost to the janitor. But after that, she lost to the janitor and the world champion, and she won every other game. You're probably gonna lose a lot. A lot of people, and maybe in the beginning, you win a lot, your rating goes up, but at some point you will face adversity and you will start losing, and that's where you have to just learn from your mistakes. So if you lose, don't take it seriously or don't take it too personally. It's just part of the experience. If you want to get better, you have to play, you have to play tournaments, and you have to make the corrections. So just keep in mind, like if your rating is like 1400 online, you're probably 800 or 900 in person. If it's like 1800 online, you're probably 1300 in person. Your online rating is going to be way higher, especially League Chess. League Chess like inflates a lot. At some point it evens out, but just keep that in mind, and just do your best. Like as long as you learn, you're good to go. And then after the tournament. So what you want to do after the tournament is you want to check your rating. So you can click on this. Well, I guess basically you just Google USCF rating lookup, and then I always do like the old format. So you're gonna click here, and then okay, actually it takes you right here. You just put in last name, first name. We'll put my name in, and then you can click on this. Well, in the beginning you're gonna have no numbers. So you're gonna click on tournament history, and that's gonna show basically where the most recent tournament was and how you did, or how your rating did. Give the tournament director like 3-4 days. Your tournament's on Saturday. I would hope at least by Tuesday, Wednesday they have them out. If they're taking a while, maybe hit them up. But this is how you're gonna look up your rating, and you have 3 different ratings: regular, quick, blitz. This is the only one that matters. Alright, so the next thing that you're going to have is a provisional rating. So basically, within the first 25 games, your rating will be provisional. That means it can move up really fast or down really fast. Remember, if you win, you gain rating. If you draw, depending on their rating, you can gain a little, or you lose a little. And if you lose a lot of rating. Now the cool thing is, within that first 25 games, let's say you won all 25, your rating would be insane. Like 2,500, which is higher than mine, and I've been playing for like 21 years. So just keep in mind that that's probably not going to happen. Yes, if you win a lot at the beginning, your rating will be really high. But remember, if you're not as good as your rating, it's going to come back down at some point. So don't really worry about it. Yeah, it's cool to have a high rating, but that's just how it's going to work. You're going to move up really fast or down really fast in the beginning. Just try to play. But I 1000% recommend playing in a tournament if you want to get better. You need to get a rating. Remember, you don't have to play every week, every month. I would recommend once a month, or if you're really trying to get better, twice a month. But that's playing. Don't play every week until you really kind of know what you're doing. Learn from your mistakes, write down your moves, analyze your games, and just keep doing that. Keep analyzing, keep learning, and your rating will just keep going up. But don't worry too much about the beginning. It's always tough in the beginning. Everything is tough in the beginning, but you will get better. All you have to do is keep improving. So hope that answered all your questions about playing in your first USCF over the board tournament. So hope you guys enjoy this video and hope you guys are entertained.